How about the Oklahoma Sooners, my man?
So, yeah, everybody knows at this point. I've been a big backer of this team before the season, and in the first couple of weeks, I've been gassing them up, and, I've been catching shit for it. So, takeaways from this game. Brent Venables, him. Absolutely him. He's turned around the defense. They look fantastic. Dylan Gabriel, everybody laughed at me for saying he was a Heisman candidate. Look up in the race and see who's in there now, because he was incredible. And then the most important part that nobody wanted to talk about before the season. Who's the coach that got out-coached in this game?
I mean, it wasn't even close.
Coach circles around him.
Not only did the Vikings have to beat the Chiefs last night, they got to beat the refs. I don't get it. But I probably won't be fading the Chiefs anymore this season. The NFL's got an agenda, and that's get T. Swift to the Super Bowl.
You don't table for it.
Man, I fucking love Georgia. I think this line is crazy. This spread is telling, in my opinion, and it tells me Georgia is going to kick the shit out of them.
Damn, brand new bag for pro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying to.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Friday, the best BTL of the week, presented by SeatGeek. If you guys haven't gotten your freaking tickets for the weekend yet, go download SeatGeek, go use promo code BOOKIT, and get $20 off your tickets this weekend at the football games. Always joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon. BTL 339 piece. Hold the fry.
Let's go.
Absolutely iced out on this Friday afternoon. Love to see it.
I mean, it's BTL Fridays. We got to lock in, man. No excuses.
We're not fucking around.
Bullshit. Not at all.
We're not fucking around today, folks. Yeah, Javon's milk's in. He likes those shades. Probably a little too much. And we'll leave it at that. Okay. Chat, the Saints suck. Okay. I know you guys all took them. I know we all, lost all of our coins last night. It is what it is. We're going to bounce back today. We're going to give you ammunition for the weekends. We're going to give you plays for tonight. We got you. All right. And hey, a tale as old as time. Lenbong coming in with a subby. Lenbong, don't forget now. Remember, we do this all for you, my man. We literally do this all for you. Just Lenbong. That's it. Chats, we're going to have a fucking day today. We're going to go over these L recaps, and then we're going to hop into the college football weekend preview. And remember, guys, you can always come back to this on Saturday mornings and skip ahead 10 minutes and rewatch this segment. Okay, that's what it's meant for. Okay. We're going to do that. We'll go over this moose shit college football game for tonight, Javon, SMU and Temple. We've got MLB games tonight, 2 of them. I like to play in one of them a lot. And then, of course, we have to craft up the weekend plays. We got the 5 Guys prize picks entry. We've got the Hail Mary parlay, Javon. I want to smack one of these puppies this weekend, man. Why not us? Why not us?
Let's do it.
Okay. We got a hype train already. We got sub bangs galore, folks. Wags Locks coming in hot with a subby. Love to see it, Wags. W's, appreciate the heart. We got Boston Sports Store coming in hot, 21 months. I can make a commitment. Yeah, tell that to your lady. You're at least locked into this, 21 months. W's. Patrick DeRosiers, sure, 77. Coming in hot with a 3-month sub bang. Love to see it, folks. We've got a hype train level 1. Let's keep that train moving and grooving as we move into the squad ride at the end of today's episode and then the college football squad rides. Let's keep that train moving and grooving. All right, hype train into the squad ride BTL train. That's how we roll, Javon. Okay?
Perfect.
W's, love it. Let's go ahead and flash up the L recaps. Might as well get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off. God damn it. God damn it. The Saints, they stink. Should have known. Even if they're a favorite, they probably shouldn't be bet on, Javon. We learned our lesson. And yeah, go ahead and cash the first 5 minutes moving and grooving at plus 100.
Air. Laid that with about 6 things today.
Javon, the Saints, man, they played absolutely atrocious, and so were our best bets. We both went 1 and 2, just not good enough. I will say that JMU Marshall under maybe the best bet of the week. It helped that Ali was out for Marshall randomly before the game. We had no idea he was hurt. And a couple of their guys, even their QB was coming in and out. He was apparently banged up too. The under was free, but that's about it for me. I mean, you hit the Ducks, and then other than that, just an absolute moose shit card.
Yep, moose shit. But that's what we got Fridays and the weekend for. So that's what we're here for today.
100%. Chat, we can't hit every day. I wish we could. And we sure as hell try. We do. But it's not possible. You guys know that. Okay, we're going to bounce back today with some winners, Javon, and for some plays for the weekend. Give the people some ammunition that they need. Okay, the A team and B team. Javon, were they even close? And we can zoom in here a little bit, Goots, if possible. Were they even close?
Rinse and moose. We haven't had too much to pick from the last couple of weeks. We got to get down to business, especially this weekend. I think this weekend we have a a slate of squares and props, so we can dig in for some Five Guys action.
We better. Yeah, we need to. And chat, remember, you can always go back and rewatch Thursday's NFL preview too for the weekends, especially. I mean, Friday's probably more fresh in your mem, but on Sunday, I mean, you might have to go back and rewatch that Thursday BTL episode just to get fresh with the plays and go over that preview. Okay, guys, those plays are smacking. All right, we're getting hot. Don't let us get hot. It might be too late. We're going to spoon feed you guys some winners for the weekend. But first, Javon, can I bitch about the Saints for just a little bit? Can I get 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
I guess.
Okay. Dubs. I'm not even mad. I'm not even going to blame this entire thing on Moreau. I'm not going to blame this entire thing on Derek Carr, although I will blame the majority of it on him. But, guys, the Saints played terrible. I mean, if Jameis is yelling at Derek Carr and the coach about something he's seeing and it seems like he's right and they're listening to him, that's an issue to me because Jameis is the backup QB, and what the heck does he know? He's not even out there playing. Derek Carr can't figure it out himself. I mean, if you have to listen to Jameis Winston for advice on the sidelines during a game, that's probably when you got to hang him up and maybe go with a different game plan here, Javon, because if he's seeing something that Derek Carr and the coach aren't, that's an issue to me because it's not like Jameis Winston's Tom Brady, respectfully. I know he's fun and cool and does weird stuff that we like and make fun of, but, I mean, come on. Jameis Winston looks like he's right in the huddle right here pointing out something, and they're, like, so confused, fucking pointing around Derek Carr talking about bullshit. He's so not locked. Put Jameis Winston first. That'll help.
The funniest part is that the coaches just aren't paying attention. So, like, I wouldn't be shocked if Jameis is just talking about something just completely unrelated to what they're discussing right now. That would just be such a Jameis move.
You think he's just talking about, like, where the hell they're going to dinner after this? And they're just like, Derek Carr's like, shut up, dude. We're trying to get the play calling for the next drive.
That unrelated, but they're probably breaking down, like, what they're sending at him coverage-wise, and Jameis is like, we got to run the ball, man. We got to eat some dubs. Some just inspirational talk that's just so relevant.
If he ate a dub on the sidelines, that might have been the only chance they had. I didn't see any dubs eaten. Unfortunately, all I saw was else. But guys, that was a red flag as soon as I saw that. But by some miracle, the Saints found their way back into this game. I mean, the Jags, shout out them. They let the Saints right back in. Shout out Mima, shout out the Jags. But the freaking Saints come down, and they have a chance here, Javon, with 30 seconds left. And we'll replay this clip because I want you guys to see it again. But Derek Carr, literally before the fucking play, in the huddle, points to Moreau. He says, hey, buddy, you're getting the ball right there. Did you see that? He points to him. He says, you're getting the rock. Okay, so Fabian, here it comes, my man. We're feeding you. You're the hot route. We're going to try to look to you first, okay? And what do? On fucking third down and goal with 30 seconds left, Javon? Oh, look who he's passing it to, Moreau. And look what happens. It drops off his freaking dick fingers. You can't make it up. The easiest catch ever. Mima herself, off the plane, with no stretching, could have caught that ball with their fucking eyes closed, Javon. And Moreau can't even do it, and he gets paid millions too. I'm not going to blame the whole game on him. I know that guy's been through a lot, and shout out to him going through that journey with beating cancer and stuff. Not going to blame it on Moreau. I'll tell you who I will blame it on. And by the way, let's just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off and show Moreau and piss on the sidelines because we have to. I mean, this guy acted like he committed a war crime. And I get it, right? He's locked in. I got to respect that. But after the fact, buddy, you got to make the catch. What are we doing? I mean, W Saints teammates coming over, picking him up. And I will say W Kamara for coming over after the game and walking my mans into the locker room after Kamara had an absolute career day. I mean, Kamara easily could have walked into the freaking locker room with his head down and said, fuck this guy for dropping this pass. But he picked up his teammate, W Kamara, actually. The only Kamara W we got last night, close to getting Chelly a BTL tattoo. I'm sure Chad knows. We were so fucking close if we just got a Kamara tutty, but we didn't. Kamara picking up this guy, though, here, W's. But, man, the Saints are a shit show. They're a shit show. They've been a shit show the last 5 years, Javon. Let's recap some of their problems here. W tweet from whoever this is, must be a Saints fan, talking about their new shit coach, talking about their atrocious play calling, talking about Derek Carr just being flat out bad. I mean, that was his best game he's had as a Raider, and it still wasn't good enough. Are you kidding me? Chris Olave and Derek Carr clearly have something going on. I don't know what it is. Okay, and we'll take a look at this pass, Javon, that we saw Derek Carr emphatically screaming at Olave at when he didn't run the route fully, other than the ball was probably 10 fucking yards out of bounds and was uncatchable. You still run the routes, and he's screaming at Olave, and then it pans to Olave, and he's like walking around like, oh, I don't fucking know. There's obviously got to be something going on there. But this isn't the first time Derek Carr has struggled to produce at the level that he's expected. Okay, this has been going on for almost 8 years. Guys, Derek Carr's just not a winner. If that's not clear by now, I don't know what is. Maybe the game last night wasn't fully his fault. I think he had like 3 touchdowns. He did his job there. I wouldn't say he played great. But Javon, look at the stat. He's the least profitable QB ATS in the last 20 years. You know how many QBs have played since then? I'm not even shocked to see this, to be completely honest with you. I've lost plenty of coins myself. Derek Carr does not respect coins. Derek Carr is not a leader that a team needs to win football games. Derek Carr is not the answer at QB for any teams, and they got to let him go. Try anything else. It doesn't work. I'm pinning it on him. Even if he had a decent game last night, something's going on with him and those receivers. It's not fucking working. It's never worked with Derek Carr wherever he is. There's always some excuse. There's always some bullshit. There's always some fluke shit. And in this case, this season, it seems like Olave doesn't vibe with him at all. I don't know what's going on with that, but that surely doesn't help Javon. The guy's not even running routes, and Derek Carr can't even get a simple win here at home when everybody's on him. This guy stinks.
Yeah, I think it's a Dennis Allen and play calling problem. Not that Derek Carr has been good at all, but I think that's the main problem with this team, as well as, like I talked about this at the beginning of the season. Once we got to midseason, after they started playing better offenses, which they haven't even really got there yet, in my opinion, we were going to start to learn that the Saints defense is really not that good. And I don't want to say I bought in, because I still knew in the back of my head that was kind of how I felt coming into the season, but I trusted them against a Jags team where I thought they could expose some vulnerabilities there. And lo and behold, we're back-to-back weeks now where this Saints defense that's supposed to be the 86 Bears has gotten thrashed by the Texans and Jags, 2 AFC South teams. So we're going to start to see that. So without that good defense sitting behind them, the offense has to really carry. And let's just say I don't think calling dump offs to Kamara 15 times a game is going to do that for this team. So like when you have
their
Michael
O-line
Thomas,
was getting bodied. He had no time to throw the ball. I don't understand.
For part of it he did, or for part of it he didn't, but also in times that he did, he was still doing the same shit. It was all dump downs, and you couldn't really get anything going down the field, and they haven't at times all year. That's why Chris Olave has been relatively ghost for the past handful of weeks, minus like the second half of last week's game. And then I guess a couple spots this week where he got some yak yesterday. But it's just nothing flows. Like Dennis Allen still sucks at what he gets paid to do. So like that's where I think the change has to start for the Saints. But as a Bucks fan and Falcons backer, feel free to still be shit. I'll gladly take that.
Chat, I'd rather have freaking Sam Howell as my QB than Derek Carr. What about you? I'd rather have Baker Mayfield as my QB.
Okay.
I would.
No.
I'd rather have Baker.
No.
Yep. I'd rather have Carson Wentz. Yep. I would. I'd rather have Taylor Heineke.
I'll give you Heineke.
I would. I mean, either way, all these guys
more
are
fun. Yeah.
Krabs, who do you want to QB, Derek Carr or Zach Hampel? I think Hampel has his hands on enough balls already. He doesn't need to get under center. That guy's a loser. Okay. Chat, I am done with this team. I'm done with Derek Carr. The guy's a loser. I don't care if he's a good dude. I don't care if he says the right things in the interviews. At this point, he's just not that guy, and he's not going to push his team over the edge to get wins when they need it, ever. He stinks. Saints are banned. They are atrocious. Their coaching sucks. Kamara's good, but their play calling's terrible. Their O-line stinks. Their defense, tried their damn their hardest last night. It wasn't good enough, and now we're here in PES. Okay. Chat, we move. Let's go ahead and pivot to the college football weekend preview. Got to talk about some plays for the weekends to get the steam out of my fucking ears from that Saints game. God damn it. W intro. Chat, how do we like them apples? Love it. Chat, let's go ahead and hop right in to the snooze fest. We'll get it over with. Don't want to put you guys to sleep here with 2 boring unders that we like this weekend, Javon. I'll get it kicked off with the Air Force and Navy under. I mean, this total probably speaks for itself, Javon. It's down to 34.5. I think that's probably a pretty key number here, getting 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals for both teams, put them at 34-ish. I don't know if I want to be grabbing this lower than 34, but if you can still grab 34.5, I would be more than willing to snag this under. Guys, Air Force has been unbelievable this season. They're undefeated. They're ranked. But their star QB is probably going to be out, Larry Air. He's in a boot this week. I doubt he plays. And to be honest with you, Javon, Navy's got their own QB BS going on. Horvath got hurt the other day. He's probably out today or this weekend. And Ty Lavatai also got hurt, their senior main starter in the last game. TBD. He's a game-time decision this weekend. I would be surprised if he plays as well. They might have to roll with the freshman Braxton Woodson, who did good enough in the last game. And guys, when these backups go in for Navy, it's not like a backup going in for, Oklahoma or Alabama, right? Navy pretty much runs the ball, and it's almost like plug and play because the QBs are all runners and they can just get downfield, and it really doesn't matter as much. It's almost like just replacing a running back compared to just a QB. But it doesn't help, and it's definitely not going to help the Navy offense. And with this total down almost, 10 points, Javon, I think it's going to be the first team to get 14 points wins this game straight up. The first team that gets 2 tutties is going to win this game, and there might not even be a team that gets 2 touchdowns. Both teams are going to run the living heck out of the football. We know what happens when these military academies play against each other, Javon. The big dog covers and the games go under. That's just how it goes. They know each other better than they freaking know themselves because they are themselves. They all run the same fucking plays and the same offense relatively. So they're going to be prepped. This game's at Navy. Guys, Air Force's schedule, I know they're 6-0 and ranked, but it's been cupcake. And I'm not saying Navy's good, but I will say that Navy defense recently, Javon, has been clamping in. They're coming off a game where they held their opponent to 0 points. Their opponent who also did not really pass at all. So I'm thinking this Navy rush defense is starting to finally clamp in a little bit here and do what they're supposed to be doing with their new head coach, who was their defensive coordinator, who got bumped up, who's a smart football guy. Great defensive mind, and that defense is starting to show it, Javon. I think they keep Air Force and their offense very limited, and I don't think Navy's going to be doing much scoring either with their backup or third-string QB. Give me the under. I know it might be square. I don't care. It's a military academy game under, and it's going to smack.
I'm with you. I'm with you there.
Dubs.
I think it's a gross Navy win in this game. So I'm right along with you.
Ooh, a win.
A win.
What?
I think they get their first loss. Air Force does. But I went with the UCLA Stanford under at 53.5, which I like UCLA's defense a lot, despite, we've seen a couple of times now in recent weeks where they've been put in really tough spots, which a lot of that's been because of Dante Moore, whether he gives 6 points to the defense themselves or just throws picks and sets the other team up for red zone opportunities or just opportunities with good field position in general and puts the defense out there back on the field after a little short rest or just in tough spots. Like I was saying, the Stanford team, yes, they're coming off of their biggest win of the season, one would argue, against Colorado, massive 29-0 comeback. So I want to fade that. But defensively, they also don't force turnovers. Other than the Shador pick in the end zone in overtime, the only 2 turnovers they've forced all season have been against Sacramento State in a game that they also lost at home. So now here, Dante Moore, while it's hard to trust the guy, I like him against this defense, especially considering the fact that run game for UCLA, I think, is starting to get better and better as the weeks go on. But also Stanford's run defense is actually pretty decent. They haven't given up a 100-yard rusher all season. And that includes games against UCLA and Oregon, which Bucky Irving I love, and Marshawn Lloyd, also very talented, and everybody that bring back up behind them, also very talented. So I think Stanford's defense can hold up for a little bit against an offense that I don't really trust, but also I think there's going to be more sustainable drives from Dante Moore and the rushing attack of that offense. So I think we get a low and slow game after seeing what Stanford put up nearly 100 in that game. Granted, it was in overtime, but 100 in that game last week.
Yep. I mean, shout out Colorado's defense for that one, but UCLA and Stanford under 53.5. Okay. A nasty Pac-12 under.
Yeah.
That's really gross. That's not for the faint of heart. And I could be down. Could be down. All right, Dubs, let's move and groove. Let's talk about the Mikey overs of the college football weekend here, Javon. 2 games we think we're going to see plenty of points. I've got the Georgia State and Louisiana Lafayette Ragin' Cajuns over 63. This totals up about 5 points here, Javon. A little surprised to see this total moving up this much. If you know these 2 teams, they love to run the heck out of the football. Georgia State's, they've been a wagon early for us this season until we started to fade them a little bit. We've actually been pretty spot on with this Georgia State team so far this season, and I'm a fan of them. I think their offense is very good. This is the best Georgia State team we've ever seen with Darren Granger and Marcus Carroll, the QB and running back, who are absolute machines, veterans. They know what they're doing. Darren Granger's keeping the ball safe this year, only has 1 pick. And Marcus Carroll's an absolute stud on the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if that dude finds his way in the freaking league, the way he runs if you watch him. He's a stud. And then ULL, They lead the freaking conference. They lead the Sun Belt in rushing yards per game. And I know Georgia State's rush defense is pretty good, but this will be the best rushing attack they've faced all season. Zion Chris, the freshman QB for Louisiana Lafayette. This kid, I mean, he might as well be a running back. He can run the living heck out of the football. He is tough to tackle. He's a beast, having a great freshman season. And then Jacob Kibodi, their running back, the senior, I mean, he's averaging almost 9 yards per carry, Javon. This guy's a fucking stud. Georgia State's not going to be able to slow down this offense, and that's why this total is moving up. Even with the rushing game script here, the total moving up is a head-scratcher for me, but I think we get plenty of points, and we get very limited stops from two moose-shit red zone defenses, and I think we're going to get a Sun Belt shootout here. Both these teams still trying to stay alive in the standings, and I think Georgia State will come out victorious with a win here on the roads, and they're going to carry this over themselves, but I think the Raging Cajuns are going to do their part on the ground too. Give me the over in this game.
Love it. Love it. I went to Norman with mine, with the UCF Oklahoma over 67.5, which is very high, but rightfully so. So I want to make it very clear. Dylan Gabriel is going to do disgusting things to this UCF defense in the secondary with his legs, with his arm, with everything, even with Andrel Anthony out. I love what we've seen from Farouk and the rest of the wide receivers there. Drake Stoops, I guess you can put in that conversation as well. UCF defense might as well put 11 traffic cones out there, and they might defend better than they're going to defend this Oklahoma offense. I'll be honest with you. But at the same time, I think this UCF defense or this offense makes it close and scores points. I came very close to taking UCF, or I still might, plus the points in this game. Now that we have John Reese Plumlee coming back, I really want to see Oklahoma not cover a game, which hopefully it's one of these bigger spreads so they can still win and it's not an upset later in the season. Even maybe, I guess, next week against Kansas, I think they're laying a touchdown. But Plumlee in this offense, I think they're going to be good. And the one thing about Oklahoma, like, I love their defense. I love everything. Their defensive line has shocked even me, who I was a big supporter of the team. They haven't really faced a team that's just going to run it down your throat. And everybody tried to come up with a narrative that Texas was going to be that team, but they're not incredibly explosive at a consistent rate because they need Quinn Ewers in that passing attack to do it. With R.J. Harvey here and with a Plumlee coming back, granted, I think he's coming back pretty healthy, and that's the risk that you're taking here. R.J. Harvey is going to have a pretty big day, I think. So I think UCF keeps themselves in this game with their offense. It's just not going to be with their defense. So I think this is like we might see 50 from Oklahoma, but I wouldn't be shocked if we see 30, 35 from UCF here.
Could not agree more. I'm with you on the script. I think UCF covers. I'm with you. That's actually probably the bet I'm looking to take here more, but I do think there's going to be plenty of points in this game with that total moving up.
Yep.
I mean, nobody's slowing down that Oklahoma offense. And yes, Oklahoma's defense has looked much improved this season, but I think UCF can hang in there and put up some points themselves and probably even cover this game.
I agree.
Dubs. Any 50U elephant plays? Not yet, Will, but I sure as heck could use one. So let me know if any pop up to you. But if not, we'll let you know when we start seeing our favorite plays. Okay? Dubs, chats, let's go ahead and move and groove on to the blowout of the college football weekend. Two teams we think are going to win, cover, and win big as favorites here. I'm going with Kansas State, Javon. Cover your ears. I know it's against your Horned Frogs, and this matchup probably brings some nightmares for you after last season's conference championship that we were at. But there's something about this K-State team, man. They just have TCU's number. And Javon, you tell me, is anybody on this TCU defense going to be able to slow down the two-headed monster at QB if Will Howard's healthy enough to play, which I think he will be, with Will Howard and Avery Johnson, who they've started to assimilate into the offense more, I guess, week in, week out. I mean, he's coming off of the game where he played the most in. The guy had 13 carries for 90 yards last week. The guy had 5 touchdowns last week, Javon. Who the heck on TCU's defense is going to be able to slow down this rushing attack from Kansas State and their QBs?
I'll tell you this. I don't think you want Will Howard playing this game. I don't think you need Will Howard playing this game. I think if Avery Johnson is in the game, I don't know if Kansas State's going to have to throw a pass to cover this number.
Yeah,
like
literally.
TCU, like the thing they do, designed run, or even if it's just with any of their running backs, they pull their guards on pretty much every single run. And I've watched the entire defense, and that was the one thing, like when Colorado had success in the run game, which they really didn't have to because TCU's pass defense was so bad in week 1. You know what it was with? Pulling their guards to one side or the other. When West Virginia, who has the dominant offensive line, so not Kansas State, when they had success running the ball with C.J. Donaldson against TCU and they upset them in Fort Worth, it was with consistent pulling of the guards. Kansas State, when they have designed runs with Avery Johnson, they did this a lot last week. It's all with pulling their guards. So, like, they're going to tear that defense to shreds. And then, like,
I mean, after how successful it was last week against Texas Tech, I don't see how Kansas State doesn't even bump those numbers up for the freshman Avery Johnson, give him as many carries as possible, because they know that there's nobody on that Horned Frog speed that's going to be able to slow down that rushing attack. They can't.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, like last week, if Chandler Morris played, I am a massive Chandler Morris, I don't want to say hater because that seems kind of harsh, but I don't think he's very good at football. If he played in that BYU game, I think he would have done similar things. Like we talked about BYU at the beginning of the season, they run a lot of like man coverage and cover 3, which if you play any team in the Big 12 with speed, that simply doesn't work. So like I like Josh Hoover. I'm a believer, but that didn't move the needle for me. And now he's playing a Kansas State team who defensively their scheme is exactly what has given TCU fits for the entire season so far. And they're going to keep everything in front of them. So they're kind of screwed going on the road. Doesn't help that it's Hoover's first start on the road either as a freshman.
Yep. And I love that TCU's coming off a nice big win. We'll take and lay the points with Kansas State here. They own the Frogs. Hate to say it. Javon, you like Texas?
I do
know
like
what
Texas.
you think about the Horned Frog or the Longhorns? What do you like?
Yeah, coming off of a little rest here, a little bye week, post Oklahoma, which is obviously the disappointing low point of their season. And now they're going to Houston, to the H-Town boys, who have been god-awful. I mean, their defense is terrible. They are coming off of that miracle Hail Mary win against West Virginia in the game. That was we kind of – I don't want to say we saw it coming, but the way that spread looked in that game, you could kind of feel something was off there. So I want to fade that coming into this week against a defense that is absolutely mushy. Like Jonathan Brooks, his rushing line for this week is 115.5, which I think almost might be 10 to 20 yards too low. They're going to demolish them in the run game. And again, like from watching this Houston defense, not just last week, but really to open the season, they are one of the worst Power 5 defenses that you're going to lay eyes on. And Texas coming back, making adjustments. Not only, I mean, with the run game, they won't really have to make many adjustments. They're just going to have to continue to dominate the offensive line and be explosive. Quinn Ewers should have a pretty good day. And I don't think he's going to have to pass for a majority of the game, but they're going to dominate the line of scrimmage. And I think on the other side of the ball, Donovan Smith, while I think he does kind of give them problems in the run game because they've struggled to cover running quarterbacks. We saw that with Dylan Gabriel in Oklahoma, of course. I just don't think he's able to contain the turnover issue enough for them to stay in this game. I think this one gets really, really ugly.
It could get ugly. I can totally see that. You got Houston coming off a monumental, crazy legacy Hail Mary win. You kidding me? Spreads move 3 points toward Texas on the road. Lay it with the Longhorns. They win this game, and they win this game big in a blowout. W's. Javon, what about upset alert? You get a dog on your mind? You get a dog you've been thinking about? You literally have a dog.
I literally have a dog. Literally have a dog.
The UConn Huskies. Tell me about it.
Yeah, they're getting their second win this week. They're hosting USF at home, which USF, they're such a streaky up and down team, even in game. Like I love betting their games, partially because, I mean, half the time you can just auto bet and over. But there's always like one side of the ball that you can exploit when you're betting this team. And this week, it's their defense, and especially the run game or the run defense that they have, which UConn, yes, they're a one-win team. Yes, they've looked pretty lethargic for a majority of the season, but when they are able to establish the run, these are the games that we see them stay in, which right off the bat, the first time they're able to have any sort of run game was actually week 1 that we took them. I think it was a squad ride that day against NC State. Covered that game. They lost by 10 on a 14.5 point spread. Another game, which they played FIU, which they lost, which embarrassing loss, but they had 126 yards on the ground from Devontae Houston. What happened? They covered that game, 7 points in a 7.5 spread. Last week or not even last week, I guess you could say last week, against Rice on the road, they won that game. What happened? Victor Rose had almost 100 yards on the ground. USF has one of the worst rush defenses in college football. So Victor Rose, Devontae Houston, whoever the hell it has to be or it can be, they're going to dominate the line of scrimmage, especially this is a rain game that they're calling for, just classic Northeast weather, and this USF offense is just not disciplined enough to be able to handle that. And the defense, of course, too. They're going to get dominated on the line of scrimmage. There's a reason why a one-win UConn team is going 2.5 to 1.5 at home in this game. It's because they're going to win.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I might as well just take the ML at this point, although I do like a good little plus 1.5 for no reason. I will be on the Huskies this weekend. Guys, this could be the 50U Beluga wow. This might be the nastiest, one of the grossest plays on the slates if Minnesota isn't themselves. But UConn.
I want them to win. I want them to win because I will be fading them with boots on ground next week. So they were to win. They were to win now. That'll be huge.
That could be the difference, folks.
Could be.
That could be the difference.
Also, before we, because I don't think we have anything in this game. Yeah.
Yeah. Boards, you get it. You're locked. You're dialed. You hit bets. We will definitely be looking to put that in the 5 guys prize picks entry for the weekend. I am sure. Okay. Do not sleep on that square, folks. Do not sleep on that square. We will come back to it. All right. UConn bumped to 2.5.
No, it's 2.5 on. It's 2.5 on DK, but on every other book, it's 1.5. That's why I put 1.5. But
okay.
Plays, whatever you want to take there.
Maybe grab it now in the green book if you want it, because you might not be getting a 2.5 for much longer, folks. UConn Huskies, and I've got Minnesota and the Golden Gophers. I mean, this is just disgusting. We've got a line coming down from 6.5 to 3.5 here, Javon, for Minnesota. Don't know why they deserve that respect, considering they just got destroyed by Michigan. And you've got Iowa on the other side, who has won 3 of their last 3 games in a row. They've won 4 of their last 5. They've been covering. They've been taking care of business. And they did just beat Wisconsin on the road outright as plus 8.5 dogs by 9. Their defense is showing up. They always do, right? They have very good linebackers. Iowa always does. But this team is probably going to lose outright just by looking at this line this weekend, Javon. Minnesota, a team that I tried to target early on in the season. I think we ended up taking it as a BTL squad route and it might have lost. But I'm a believer in Kalia Kamanis. I think this kid, this QB from Minnesota, this dual threat runner, is only going to get better. And he can't really get worse. And I still believe in him, a very highly touted QB dual threat coming in. And they've got a pretty good set of running backs as well. The splits look great on Minnesota. And this is more of just a fade on Iowa, a team who before the season I was kind of buying into. You know, they get Cade McNamara. Apparently their offense is going to be better. They got these stupid rules with their coaches. They got to score a bunch of points. Has that really mattered or come into play? Because they're not scoring points. And that coach is on the hot seat either way, whether they're winning games or not. Javon, this offense is fraudulent, just like Iowa's offense always is. I'm back in Minnesota with the points on the roads. I do think they win this game outright, though.
Surprised you didn't take the under in this game instead.
I mean, that under is 31.
You see the
give me a break.
I was looking through the prize picks board for this game, and this is probably the first time I've seen a quarterback in college listed at double-digit passing yards. They have Deacon Hill at 99, which is absolutely hilarious.
That is crazy.
Yeah, we might have to fade.
That's crazy.
Might have to fade.
And yeah, chat, ASIM is probably right. This game is going to be like 10-7. So grab the spread while you can. Grab that hook while you can. It's going to keep moving and grooving. Probably down to +3 at the best by kickoff. Okay. Give me Minnesota. That is a nasty spread. And yeah, the total is down to 31.5 or 31. Where are the points going to be coming from? There's going to be no points in this game. It might end 0-0. Like that meme with Frank Beamer in the Wake Forest game where he's celebrating like this and they're going into OT and it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. That could be this game. That could be this game. This is a full fade. Respectfully, sure, George. I'd like to see a slip and I will catch my tailors at the counter when Minnesota wins outright. Okay.
Yeah, there's that option's always on the table. If we have a BTO post about these games or just in general, if you hate anything, you can drop the slip in the comments and we'll be sure to respect.
Drop it. If you're fading our plays long term, you're not going to have any money. So good luck. Okay. Javon, it's about that time for the meat on tape segment. We need this like we need air. 2 of our favorite college football plays of the weekend. And yep, going back to that Navy game, you guys thought you were getting away with it. You're not. We're taking the freaking midshipman. We're grabbing the points. We're holding on for dear life. Guys, speaking of games that might end 10-7, this one right here is going to end 10-7. If that, Navy is going to keep this game close. Their defense has gotten better every single week. Their strength of schedule is night and day compared to Air Force. Air Force doesn't have their star QB who's been carrying them on this crazy undefeated ranked run the entire season. Now they got to go on the road and play a Navy team who knows them better than they know themselves. Are you kidding me? Without their stud QB, and that spread keeps coming down, that total keeps dipping. Guys, like Javon said, not only is Navy going to cover the 10.5, this game is going to be a one-possession game going down to the wire in the last possession, like almost every freaking military academy game is. Okay, that's just how they roll. Navy's going to keep this one close, back the points with the midshipmen, and go about your day. This is one of those games you put on to take a little nap on because there's not going to be many points or score interaction. You wake up, you see Navy lost by 3. They lost by, it was fucking 14-11 or some shit like that, and the game soared under. But you grab the midshipmen with their backup or third-string QB against an overrated Air Force team that has literally played the worst strength of schedule in college football.
You going to be boots to this game?
No boots. Should be, though.
That's kind of soft.
Should be. I got to go to a wedding tomorrow, bro. I wish I was boots.
Wedding during Air Force Navy? That's a mistake, man.
It's not my wedding.
You got to get Goots there.
Yeah, you need me to put boots on ground?
Yeah, we might
Dude,
need it.
I might need you to ship it up to Annapolis, my man.
What time is
Straight
that
up.
game, Krebs? Do you know?
Yeah, that
gotta be
game
early,
is
right?
at probably noon. That game is at noon, Goots. I need you sliding down one of those hills in the corners of the
Yeah.
state. Cardboard
Yeah.
boxes with all the kids.
I'll bring my
It is-
GoPro. I'll slide down it.
We need a GoPro Goots cam. Guys, at
Goots
the,
on
at the
ground,
Navy,
man.
Goots on ground. Not boots on ground. Goots on ground. I love that. What the fuck? Navy, their football stadium, they have like on the corners of the bowls where like most places would have seats for big stadiums, they have like these hills the kids just like bring fucking cardboard boxes to, and they just like slide headfirst down the hill as fast as possible. It's very
Have a
dangerous.
lot of fun. Yeah,
It's very dangerous to be honest with you. I used to do it as a kid, but probably the most fun going to those games. Probably not watching the games, considering there's going to be no points. But give me the mids.
Yeah,
Give me the mids. Give me the points.
I'm gonna check out SeatGeek. Use code Bookit. See if I can get there.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about, dudes. Tickets can't be expensive. They'll probably pay you to go to that game. Okay. West Virginia, Javon, tell me about the Mountaineers. What do you got?
Love this play. Oklahoma State. It came out of the bye week playing pretty well. Both those games were at home. They did a little quick sweep of the Kansas teams. One of them was a really weird spot, which Friday night, coming off the bye week, they got a Will Howard team that was dealing with a lot of injuries. Will Howard was at a sink. He threw 3 picks in that game. I give him credit for that. I don't think that really moved the needle for me. And then last week, too, they played a Jason Bean-led Kansas team at home with a really bad defense. Again, give them credit for getting it done after the way they've turned it around the last couple weeks. But now you're going to Morgantown against what I believe, and not even what I believe, what every single metric would tell you is the most dominant offensive line in the Big 12. So the one thing with, them defensively is they've really stepped it up because they're getting pressure on the quarterbacks, which when we talk about the Kansas State game, especially, that's why Will Howard, A, had to use his legs so much, but B, looks so uncomfortable in the pocket and turned the ball over as many times as he did. Kind of a little bit for the same thing in the Kansas game. They got pressure on Jason Bean. He was able to use his legs a little more and be a little more efficient than Will Howard was. But at the end of the day, the offense looked good for them. They're running with Ollie Gordon, who is one of my favorite running backs in the Big 12 to back. They were running circles around him. I think he had like 150 plus last week against Kansas. That's not going to happen. West Virginia is not the flashiest team. They're not the team like the Kansas or even like what we thought Kansas State was going to be this season with their offense being this dynamic team. No, they're more the ground and pound team. You're going on the road to Morgantown where you're going to lose the battle by a significant amount in both trenches on both sides of the ball against an offense that I think still has enough firepower, and I think they're going to dominate them. Like Garrett Green is going to have a really good day. I know we faded him last week taking his pick, but he able to use his legs very effectively. I think he had 2 on the ground there too. And this passing attack is going to have absolutely all day to operate because this Oklahoma State D-line has not been very good against any O-line that has any sort of power. So I think you're going to get an all-out attack from the Mountaineers. And as good as Oklahoma State's looked in this little 2-game Mickey Mouse run coming off the bye week, have fun in country roads.
Yeah, I don't care how good or bad that team is. That is a tough place to play, especially with Oklahoma State, who's coming off of 2 outright wins as underdogs. +3, they won outright at Kansas or versus Kansas, and then Kansas State, they won outright by 8 as +11.5 point dogs, Javon. Love the spot. West Virginia just got beaten by a Hail Mary against Houston. Are you kidding me? They're going to come into this game hungry. They're going to dominate the trenches, and they're going to get a big-time win here. Meet on tape, West Virginia. Minus 3.5. Sure.
Yeah, the
I mean,
3.5 was everything that I needed to see in this game.
Okay. Dubs. Chat, take a little mental screenshot of these. Boop. Two of our favorite college football plays of the Saturday slates, the Midshipmen and the Mountaineers. All right. Good luck out there this weekend, folks. Let's hop into some plays and some angles for today. Javon, the football gods blessed us with maybe one of the worst solo Friday night games of the season. I mean, we can't do better than this, guys. We're halfway through the college football season, and this is what we got on a Friday night. I mean,
Unreal,
come on.
man.
This game
Unreal.
is atrocious. SMU and Temple. I mean, Temple got to be one of the worst teams in FBS at this point. I don't even care that they have 2 wins. If you watch them play, they stink. SMU, on the other hand, a team, Javon, you've been pretty high on this season. They've been taking care of business. I mean, they're up to 23.5 on the spread in this game. And that total is hovering around 55.5. You said it's been moving up a little bit today. It is a little bit public. Nothing crazy there. What's your first inkling here? What's your initial lean?
My inkling is really Temple in this game. I just don't know if I can get to the counter with it because their offense hasn't been good whatsoever, but I'm hoping that EJ Warner plays, which if anybody in chat knows the status there, if that's been decided yet, I haven't seen anything. But with EJ Warner playing, I feel a little bit more confident about this team and this offense. Realistically, I don't think they have to put up much to cover this game. It's just SMU, the way that they're playing right now, it's not like it's not like I hate their offense or anything, but they run the ball a lot and they're not very efficient at doing it. So when it comes to these bigger spreads, I took a shot at it earlier in the season a couple weeks ago, didn't pan out. And it seems like the play style really from the TCU game on has been all that similar. So I really don't know if I can trust them to cover a big spread. Maybe the line moving as well as the total moving is kind of telling you that you should trust them with a big spread. So I don't necessarily want to go near fading them at this point is kind of my perspective there. But I just think this is going to be an ugly game that Temple somehow squeaks out a cover. I don't know. What's your thought out there?
Definitely not laying it with SMU. I'll tell you that much. I initially wanted to take the under maybe in this game, but if you're saying that total's creeping up, I might be off. I mean, Temple has not covered in over a month. Hate to see that for them. They stink. They've got some, injury concerns going into this one, but I can't see myself laying it with SMU here after they took care of business against ECU in their last game last week. It's got to be Temple as a lean. It's nasty. I feel like we've been getting absolutely burned in these nasty, underdog spots during the week with these midship teams. None of them have been covering at all. That can't last. If betting football is anything like I remember it for the last, 10, 15 years, that's not going to last. There's no fucking chance. So Give me Temple. Give me the points. Let's pray that we get their QB out there. But it's going to be tough. Just don't take SMU, chat. If anything, just lay off this game and maybe bet some MLB. All right, I think we have a pretty better angle in those games. Right, Javon?
Yeah, I'm not loving anything. Honestly, I would still, as long as this total doesn't get up any higher, I would still lean the under. It's just there's a lot going on with this game, especially with, I guess, the game time decision. EJ Warner, if we need that, really. I don't know. I would still lean the under in this game.
I don't even know if I want to take Temple without that QB. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. And my PP square in this game, I would take either way, but I would really love if EJ Warner was in so that could hit, which actually it just got bumped up, which is a great sign. Could be a good sign. It was at David Martin.
Much better than Patterson. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. This was set 18.5 before we started. It's up to 20.5 now. David Martin Robinson, tight end for Temple, who's a sneaky pass catcher in that receiving core. So I like him to do damage, especially when I think they're going to be throwing for a majority of the game. Hopefully it's EJ Warner throwing to him. But yeah, I'm taking this regardless. David Martin Patterson.
We've got the weatherman coming in hot, George. There might be some weather in this game. People are talking. People are saying, okay, that's not going to help the points.
Yeah, definitely won't. Especially, SMU just confuses me why they run the ball as much as they do, even when they're not draining clock is a big favorite. They just run the ball to death and it doesn't work. So I don't know. So that could be great for the under. Got
to establish that run. At least try to.
Got to. Yeah.
We got King Castro 43 coming in hot with a subby. Let's have a day. Why not us? King Castro, why not us, my man? Love to see it. W sub bang. Yeti Express also coming in hot, giving out a subby to the people as well. We got back to Malik, my goat, coming in hot, giving George a subby. Our weatherman, a nice little sub bang there. W's Malik and 13 bits as well. Love to see it. Love to see it, my man. All right, Javon. I mean, this game stinks. I don't even know if I'm going to be betting it. Cannot force on that slate. Maybe some MLB, though. I think we could give the people probably some better angles, better plays in these two baseball games tonight. Chat, we got Houston versus Texas in the first game. I believe it kicks off around 5 p.m. Eastern on FS1 W's. Houston might have opened up a short favorite in this game, at least towards the beginning. But now Texas is the short favorite in this matchup. The total is up from 8.5 to 9. And I'll be honest with you, Javon, I kind of like runs in this game. I do. I like runs. Tell the people about what happened the first time these two pitchers faced off in the series and why it's weird this total might be a little higher today.
Yeah, so it was 2-0 in game one, in a game that really offensively had no pulse when we saw Verlander Monty the first game of the series. But I did say before, I think it was the squad ride, not yesterday, but the day before, game 3 in Texas, when we took the over. After really like halfway through game 2, when we started seeing the bullpen, we got to a really early point of where the Astros and Rangers have seen a majority of their bullpens, which the Rangers bullpen had been fantastic to this point coming into the series and to the series against the Rays and the Orioles. So I didn't think that would kind of last. And now that they've started to see or expose their pitchers to this Astros lineup multiple times, we've started to see we're at a point where, just like I said, I don't think we're going to see many unders in this series. And even with Verlander Monty coming up, guess what they are? They're pitchers that they have recently seen 3 games ago in the series in the same exact matchup. And now you have an Astros offense that is on the road too, where they've been significantly better, and a Rangers offense that, I mean, I wouldn't say they're lost at the plate because they're still seeing the ball somewhat well in spots, but they're not putting together a consistent effort. So it also helps too that, just like our man's saying here, they started letting some of the Astros bats that were dormant in this lineup. Really, anybody but Kyle Tucker. He still sucks, but Altuve's getting hot. Jordan's getting hot, which he's always been hitting ridiculously. But Abreu's getting hot too. He's barreling up pitches more than he has in really the entire playoffs, last couple games. The road Astros are just different. And now, to be honest with you, I think they get a little bit of an advantage that the MLB playoff structure is like this, where it's 2-3-2 instead of the 2-2-1-1-1. So I'm going back to trusting the bats here. So I'm right there with you. I like the over. Initially, I kind of leaned. We were talking about it a little first 5 under, and then it get demolished by the bullpens. But after looking at some of the odds for this game, it makes you think after a 2-0 game. Goots, I don't know if you can go to it on DK right there. Go to click on the game and go to the pitcher props, because there are some very interesting prices, and you can go to earn runs. Scroll. I guess you have to scroll down for that. Jordan Montgomery, we see that square up on PP, right? Which is minus 125 to the over after he threw a shutout performance in game 1, obviously. Super, super interesting there. Yeah, second time seeing both these guys. But then you look at Verlander, who also pitched pretty well and has pitched really pretty well the entire postseason so far. He's at 3.5 again after I think he gave up 1 in that start in game 1 there. The 3.5 line, where granted it's always going to be just the under at a 3.5 line unless you're a regular season pitcher in Coors. Him being at 3.5 instead of 2.5 is absolutely insane. Not just in the playoff atmosphere, but just period, after throwing a shutout against this team literally a handful of days ago. So I'm leaning the over in this game, not just because of the lines, but when you get into the bullpens, this Rangers bullpen is taxed. If you would have said coming into the series that they were going to throw Cody Bradford in back-to-back games, I would tell you the Astros are winning in 3, not even 4. And that's what they just had to do. So I'm all over both these pitchers getting hit up after being seen for the second time, and then the bullpens, which have been used heavily, continuing to produce runs.
Yep. I'm in. I mean, you talked about that Jordan Montgomery earn run square on Prize Picks, which is definitely a target of mine for today. I thought, why not take it one step further? Maybe make some coins here on the books today and take Houston first 5, team total over 2.5 at plus chick. I know a lot of you guys might not be able to find that on your books. If you are, I recommend maybe a responsible 1 unit tail on that play because I think it's going to be hitting by the third inning. If I'm being completely honest with you, I think both these starters are going to get rocked. I love seeing this total open up at 8.5 and move up to 9 after these guys already faced off. They're two veterans. I mean, Verlander especially, you can expect him to pitch well. It's Justin Verlander. Jordan Montgomery, the way he's been looking, he's looked like a better pitcher than Verlander. It's insane. I mean, the guy's diving off the mound, pouncing like a puma, like he's 20 years old, diving, making crazy plays on the mound, like he's the most athletic guy on the field. It's nuts. And these guys throw a gem in the first game, and now that total's up from 8.5 to 9. Yeah, you're talking about the freaking road Astros hitting different. They literally hit different on the roads. And in Texas, I don't care if the roof is open or closed. It doesn't matter to me. Their balls are going to be flying at the park tonight. Houston's going to be putting up runs early and often. Javon, I'd go as far to take it that I like the Yurfie in this game, which is 2-2 so far in this series. I like runs early in the first inning. I wouldn't be surprised if Altuve hits a little first pitch, first inning gag. I almost called it the other night against Scherzer. He did end up hitting the nuke that game, but first pitch or second pitch of the game, he hit a warning track ball. We know he likes to swing at the first pitch, right? Would not be shocked if the Astros do some damage early and often. Cash a Yurfie for us. They help cash that first 5 team total over 2.5, and we go about our day. And I'll catch you guys at the counter. Yeah, this square, I would not mind taking one bit either. This Yurfie.
Yeah, I don't mind spraying quite a bit in this game, to be honest with you.
I don't either, man. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking through the book odds also for these, or the book lines for these hero and RBI square, because I was interested to see, because usually when you have a total creeping up, you're not going to see too many guys, even with these pitchers on the mound, listed at like 2.5. So I was trying to see. I assume, like, going into it, we were going to see Jordan listed at this, and probably Corey Seager, which Corey Seager's there. He's at 2.5 HR on the books. But Adolis is too, which, yes, he hit a gag yesterday, but he doesn't usually get that kind of respect, which is why we've seen the Adolis hero and RBI up for a majority of the playoffs. So, like, Jordan's still listed at 1.5 for -145, and Adolis gets the 2.5, which is, again, interesting after Verlander just pitched the way he has the rest of this postseason, and obviously against them in game 1 of this series. So I don't know. I think he can spray quite a bit in this game. I wouldn't mind backing Adolis, who has that run square up again. That's been treating us very well. But yeah, I really haven't even been able to decide what I want to take in the prize picks board from this game, other than that Montier and run square.
What about Evan Carter, more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs?
Wouldn't hate that. Wouldn't hate
also, our guy Mo Yo 29 in chat keeps asking, what's up with the team totals being a plus check on the over? Well, I will say, and people are talking about in chat saying, oh, you can't bet this over in this game. Everyone just could be blindly betting it after the last couple of games. Well, not so fast. I'm actually seeing 56% of bets, 51% of handle on this under right now. I'm seeing the double up arrows on the Vista splits, which means that money's coming in right now on that under. And usually late money is dumb money. Smarter money is earlier. Okay. That's a great sign, I think, for the over. And the fact that late money is coming in and it's public and that total's moved up from 8.5 to 9 tells me everything we need to know. And I'll tell you what, guys, the fact that these guys pitched against each other in this series to start it out, and it was a 2-0 game, and now we're getting that total moving up, and it's already high, and all the props on the books and all the prize pick squares are screaming at us, telling us there's going to be runs early and often in this game. I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
you take the over, you go about your day, and you're going to see the game soar over just like the last 2 nights because Houston's playing on the roads and the Texas lineup's legit. It's that simple. Don't overthink it, guys. It's baseball. Come on. We got Daiquiri coming in with a sub bang. Let's go, Daiquiri.
It's funny. I saw this the other day. The Rangers to win the World Series boost right before last night. Hilarious.
There's no way they put that up.
Hilarious. And yeah, this I don't know if this guy watched the game, but ETN did go under his rushing yards by quite a bit. But
yeah, he had an early touchdown and really didn't do much after that.
Yeah, so I mean the boost lined up for that under rushing yards, and he was like 15 yards away from going over. So it wasn't really even that close. So it's a boost thing to pay attention to. I don't know if we have one up today for the baseball game, but yesterday it was actually, I think it hit yesterday because yesterday was Corey Seager, which I didn't even want to fade yesterday because I thought he was going to have a pretty good game. But I don't know if we see one today. So I'm definitely interested in just spraying some bats here.
Huh. Okay. Do we want to dive in and see who we like in this Houston-Texas game real quick?
We can.
Sure. I mean, obviously, we like that Montgomery more than 2.5 earned runs allowed. I'm sure I could convince you into that Yurfie potentially in that game.
You could.
Okay. Twist my arm. Sure. Kyle Tucker, hasn't he been moose? He's up there for hit run RBIs. What's up with that?
He's been up like every game, I think. That's not a guy. And Altuve is different. And like the last couple of games, I've kind of gotten involved in trying to catch the falling knife with him. But Kyle Tucker it looks a little different. Because like Altuve was putting some good swings on the ball, but just wasn't getting many results. Kyle Tucker just doesn't look like he has any approach coming to the plate. And some of the swings, if you watched that game last night, he looks lost. So I'll wait a minute. Yes, there you go, Grins. Kyle Tucker looks like Trenton Slosh Ball. 100%, man. So I'm good on trying to catch it with him. If he snaps today, I'll eat that one and I'll be okay with not betting that. But
Simeon's up for a boost on the green book.
We did talk about that. Yeah, that one doesn't make me want to fade him either because he's just been terrible throughout the whole playoffs. So I mean, it's not even like that one seems very trappy.
Yep. Well, they did hit that freebie Corey Seager more than TBs yesterday. They got boosted. You're telling me Simeon's hitting today too? Are they just giving away free money?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know who wants to take that boost as of right now, to be honest with you.
I'm sure people will be taking the Marcus Simeon freebie.
I'm sure like somebody's going to take it, but like if you ask the common public better, like if Trent walks in this room right now, he is just going to say, I'll tell him, hey, you want to take the Simeon boost? We'll say that guy is moose shit.
But Trent's not the common MLB better. Trent's dialed in. He knows what's going on. I mean, the common MLB better is not going to look up a single stat for how any of these guys are doing. They're going to hear the name Marcus Simeon, and they're going to say, let me lock that in. He's the freaking leadoff hitter for the Rangers. They're not going to look at any stats.
He's whaled the Phillies 1,500 times throughout the playoffs. I think he can pass as the common MLB better.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like people who take those boosts are not the people who are looking up any sort of stats, doing any sort of research, which is fine. I'm saying. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but the people locking that in aren't going to be scared off just because Simeon hasn't played well recently. They probably don't even fucking know that. Is my point.
I'm just saying you don't have to look up stats to be told that Marcus Simeon has been god awful, which is my point. But like, I will say though, going through these odds, there's one thing that still is maybe a little square, but also screaming at me. Really, the entirety of this playoffs and even in this series, it's been weird because Adolis has been the leader for home runs like every single game. Today, it's Corey Seager, which is a big change from really, I mean, like I said, really even back into the Rays series. It's been Adolis a majority of the time, I guess you could say. And today, it's Corey Seager up against Verlander, which is very interesting.
That is weird. Is it Seager Day again?
It's Seager, not even just like one spot. It's Seager like consistently. I'm looking at a couple different books here. And that little run square is, I don't know if that's not up, but the run price is juicier than it even was yesterday.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to rush to take Seager today, but say the word and I'll lock it in. I don't know I think I'd rather go with somebody else, like an Evan Carter with no PFP.
That's fair.
I'd pretty much be down to take anybody on the board in this game except for Chas McCormick. I'd be down to take anybody else.
Who would have thought that you would have been saying that?
Well, didn't he just hit a nuke the other day?
I know.
He
is. Or, I mean, he had one yesterday. I was just saying, like, imagine
he's a Yankee hater. I know.
Yeah, imagine you told yourself that, like, before the playoffs started. You're like, I'm down to take. I'm down to take Yordan Altuve and Marcus Simeon, but I will never take Chas McCormick in the playoffs.
Well, some of these guys have been some of these goats have been ass, and I guess the freaking Chas McCormicks of the world are stepping up. PDP on Abreu and Harper. Okay, sure. Abreu hot? Is he? Or did he just have one good game?
No, he's been seeing the ball relatively well. It's not one I'd be afraid of there.
He's up for hit run RBIs.
Yeah. was yesterday. It was indeed air.
It was there yesterday. Yeah, he cashed. He balled yesterday.
Pretty much everybody. If you took any Astro square on the board, for the most part, it was air.
Yeah, you take any square on that team, you're green. Is
Yeah.
it today? And yeah, PODP has been dialed. We talked about it last night. He lives for this shit.
Dialed. W Cattell in the stream 4-piece yesterday. That was air.
Yeah, dude.
That might have been the only square he could have taken in that game. That was turned out great.
Straight up. That was a great play.
That was fantastic play.
Well, do you think Abreu stays hot? He's gotten a hit in his last 2 games.
I mean, I do think he stays hot. I'm running it back with Seager. That's probably my play in this game.
Okay. Let's go Siegs. I'll trust my goats. Maybe we can get a little cuter in the second game. You want to talk about Philly and Arizona, game 2?
Yeah, this game is weird. Super weird. Now that we have, Christopher Sanchez and then Joe Mantiply, and I really haven't seen any specific plan beyond that for the D-backs. They do have life. 100%. So this game is difficult because Christopher Sanchez is, in all likelihood, going to go through the lineup once, maybe just slightly over that, depending on how he's pitching. Joe Mantiply is probably opening for no more than an inning, maybe 2. So it makes it difficult because when I talk about the Rangers-Astros series, they got to the point where you've seen the bullpen a handful of times, like in game 2. I think now coming into game 4, that's when you're just finally starting to get here in that series, in this Phillies D-backs series. And now you're going into what's a bullpen game for both of these teams. So coming off of, a snooze fest yesterday, I wouldn't be shocked if it's a little more run production here in Arizona today, but the uncertainty is kind of keeping me away from this one because I really don't believe in the D-backs pen. They feel kind of similar to the Rangers with me. They're terrible throughout the season. They've been nails throughout the playoffs, and now you're in a series against one of the hotter offenses in the league. If not, many people could argue the hottest team in baseball right now, and I wouldn't say a thing after they've seen these pitchers a couple of times now. So that's what worries to me. But at the same time, this is a bullpen game for the D-backs with Joe Mantiply and that bullpen and everything involved. And I honestly think if Sanchez and the Phillies are going to go out there and dominate, probably be seeing minus 145, minus 150. So I'm a little surprised to see it minus 135, minus 130. So maybe it's just a back and forth game, and the D-backs stay hot in Phoenix before going back to the bank.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be fading the Phillies or getting cute with any unders if this game was being played at the bank, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's being played, all the way across the country. And if you guys watched the game last night and you haven't realized that this is going to be a different series in Arizona than compared to Philly, where it's, all the momentum is obviously with the home squads. They're feeling great. They're feeling loose. As soon as that first run crosses the plate, you're probably getting 3 more in that inning because of the momentum. Guys, in Arizona, this series, I feel like it's a completely different ball game, literally. Even with these 2 Moose pitchers starting it off, I was shocked to see the freaking total in this game open at 8.5. I don't even care that it's up to 9.5. You're telling me, I know we had a 2-0 game in the last one, or a very low-scoring game in that last one. But before that, it was runs galore. Philly covering the over themselves the game before that. And the over in the first game with the pitcher's duel also hit. But this is a different ball game than the ones that were in Philly. Arizona, for some reason, is still not getting aggressive on the base paths. I don't understand it. That was their bread and butter all regular season. And I understand if they don't want to run as much in the playoffs, but you got to run a little bit. They're not doing anything on the base paths. And it doesn't look like to me that's going to change anytime soon. We're already 3 games in. So if Arizona's not doing, what got them here in the first place tonight, I don't think their offense is going to be great, even if they're going against Sanchez and that Phillies bullpen, which, by the way, has been fucking nails. Okay. And then Arizona and that bullpen has also been weirdly good pretty much this whole postseason. Out of nowhere, I know they're starting Mantiply as an opener. It doesn't look great. I'll tell you what, you got to lean Arizona here at home with the series flipped now and with them playing here out west. And you got to fade the bats, I think. I know people are scared to do it. I get it. Okay, I know people are scared to fade this Philly offense, especially when you see a guy like Mantiply up there opening up, and then God knows who's coming out of the freaking pen for Arizona. It's a bunch of no names, but it's guys who have been absolutely shoving recently. Those are the guys I want my coins on. I want my coins on the Brandon Thoughts. That's where I want my coins. I don't want my coins on the Phillies, who everybody's taken. I'm not saying the Phillies aren't going to win this game. To be honest with you, I won't be betting Arizona here, and I wouldn't be surprised if Philly wins this game and closes the series out the next night. But I'll tell you what, it's not going to be by scoring a bunch of runs. It's going to be a game identical to last night. It's going to be low-scoring playoff atmosphere. Guys, this game is not in Philly. They don't have their fucking magical powers and their crazy lunatic crowd to bring the energy up and pretty much score runs for that offense themselves. They don't. You got the silent crowd out in Arizona for these games, and the scoreboard is going to reflect that accordingly. Give me another nail-biter, low-scoring game, and give me the under 9.5 between Philly and Arizona.
Yeah, it's I'm not going to act like I have much confidence on this game because I don't. My one question about it is we haven't really seen a constant stream of offense really at any point in this series. Like, even if you think about some of the games in Philly where it's been even like going back to game 1 where Zach Gallen got moosed, right? There were a couple of solo shots, and what really happened the rest of the game? Nothing. And that's been the way that it's happened for a couple of these series. Like, you see a run or two in an inning and not really much else. So coming into a bullpen game, this feels to me like the first time that we actually get it, especially if we see the Phillies score first in this game. The D-backs have to really piece together whatever's going to happen with their bullpen. And then Sanchez, who knows what he's going to bring to the table, even though he's not going to pitch very long either. So we haven't seen, like, I mean, the Rangers and Astros have had a couple of big innings in succession for that series. They're very different teams, very different series. I get it. But it just feels like one of those games that it's just different from the rest of the series. That's what my gut is telling me. Regardless, even if it ends up coming short of the total, it feels like a game that we get a couple of runs and we get a couple more big innings than we've seen. So, yes, I kind of agree with this. If the Phillies get hot early, they're probably not going to stop, especially against that D-backs pen, who knows who they're going to be able to throw or have to throw after Joe Mantiply and whoever comes out of the bullpen. If they get most to, the Lord help them. But I don't know. In this game, like, it feels very different to me than the first couple of games did.
Okay. Derek saying, so passionate about a crabs, but no coins on it. I bet. I mean, Derek, I had more coins on the D-backs ML yesterday than you've placed on all your bets all week combined, brother, and I cashed. And I'm going to have another, one unit, $250 play on the under in this game, and it's going to hit, and you're going to be sitting there eating popcorn on your couch watching it, expecting runs, and you're not going to be seeing shit. You might fall asleep during the game. It's going to be so boring when this under smacks. Okay?
This is an interesting
Give me a break.
one. I was looking at this.
Big game. Boom.
Bohm, who has
Ooh.
been moose, 4 for 24 in the playoffs with 1 extra base hit, is up for total bases today, which is interesting. They're also, if you look at this game on the other side, this feels very Adolis run-like, less that it's been up significantly less, but they just have Christian Walker out for a run and nothing else, which the name of the game for the D-backs, at least really how they've scored in the series, and even if you look at last night, it's been small ball. It's not like they've been coming out just hitting absolute nukes back and forth like we've seen in the Rangers series a little bit. So it's kind of aligning to me of what I feel about this game. Like, if Christian Walker is hitting nukes in this game, Tel Marte is staying hot in front of him. Maybe we get Corbin Carroll to wake up a little bit too. This feels like some more significant bangs, a lot more extra base hits, a lot more constant stream of offense. So that's what's telling me in this game, that it's going to be a little different, other than the fact that, you can look in the baseline here and say it's a bullpen game for the most part for these two teams with Sanchez and Mantiply and whoever else.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm more than down to take this square, even if I have the under, because that's weird. I'm down to lock in Walker to score a run. I don't even care if the odds are juiced to the under, as they should be. That looks like some bait to me for some people who are back in the Phillies today looking to fade that weird square maybe. Would not mind taking that one bit, back and Walker across the plate. And then what was the other square you were talking about in this game? Oh,
Alec Bohm.
Game Bohm.
That's probably, out of the two games, I would say the weirdest one up is total base.
Yeah.
Because I look at, he's been up for hero and RBI a couple times, and those haven't really even been smacking outside of the game that he had the extra base hit in, because that's the only multi-base game that he's had, or multi-hit run RBI game that he's had, I think, the entire playoffs, except for maybe once against the Braves. So I look at the price for that, And yes, 9.5 total against a bullpen game, but minus 170, 1.5 hit run RBI to the over for a guy who, I mean, I'm not going to act like I'm super tapped into Phillies Twitter, but I can go on there anytime Alec Boehm has been failing at a big spot and see 50 people bitching. So minus 170 when you look at guys like Bryce Harper, who is minus 150. Not even the same respect there. You look at, I don't know, guys like Bryson Stott, too, minus 125. Kyle Schwarber, minus 125. JT Realmuto, minus 135. So outside of Trey Turner, who's at 2.5, this is the juiciest hit run RBI in the lineup today for the Phillies, which I find really interesting. And then we don't even get that because it's so juicy. We get a total basis, which he hasn't been sniffing outside of once in the playoffs. That intrigues me a lot.
Yeah, I'm in. And guys, the total's a 9.5. We can get some runs, we can get some hits, and the game could still go under. It's not at 7. Okay, we got some runs to play with. Bill's is saying Boehm is an auto out. If they're smart, they'll move him to 8th. Okay, all we needed was a Phillies fan to disagree. Lock that one in. Perfect.
Yeah, all the Phillies fans have hated Boehm. He's been dog shit. Right?
Yeah, I'll take him. Shit, he looks like one of the better third basemen in baseball. These guys bitching about, not knowing how good they have it, I guess. They got half my ex-Nationals team who are all balling and carrying this team to the fucking World Series. And then the other half are young, cool, fun guys. Like, what? If anybody's bitching who's a Phillies fan, look in a mirror. Okay, you have the most fun, exciting team in baseball in the last couple of years. Grow up. Keep your mouth shut. There should be zero bitching at all from Phillies fans whatsoever. You guys have the coolest atmosphere. You got freaking Philly Live right outside the stadiums where people get weird. Even the players from the team go out there after the games and ride the bull and get drunk with the fans. There should be negative bitching from any Phillies fans. I don't care if they lose the rest of the games as series. You zip it and you go about your day. All right? I give my left nut to be a Phillies fan right now. Give me a break. You guys got half my cool Nats. Zero bitching should be occurring. And if I was Alec Boehm, I understand why he was clapping back during the regular season. I don't blame him one bit. All right. I'm super down to take that square, though. All right. All jokes aside. You could just be a Phillies fan for free. Yeah, but Shifty, that's not how I roll, brother. That's not how I roll. I don't just pick and choose teams every season. Unfortunately for me, I'm a DC sports fan. I wish that wasn't the case. Trust me. Okay, but it is. Any other squares, Javon, you're liking? I mean, we got a couple good ones down from just baseball today with that Jamont earn run square. You got the Yurfie in Verlander, Jamont, which we couldn't pair this together, obviously, but two squares that we like. Corey Seager, was it TBs or fantasy score that you wanted to take?
Taking his TBs.
TBs, sure. Christian Walker to cross the plate, more than half a run. And Alec Boehm, more than 1.5 TBs as well. He's a red out gulp, and he's going to come through today. Pretty weird to see his odds for his hit run RBIs. Those juicy to the over on the books, Javon. Love to see it.
Very interesting.
Love to see it.
Very interesting.
Okay? Dubs. Chats, I think if we had a lean for sides in these two games, I don't want to speak for Javon, but for me, it would probably be I do think the Rangers, gun to my head, come back late and win this game at home. But I do think the Astros and that over are a much better look, especially that first 5-team total over. And then I do think the Snakes on the ML is looking at me funny. I don't think I'm going to get to the counter with that, Javon, but I think I will get to the counter with that under. What do you think your favorite angles are in these two games, real quick?
I'd say Astros and Phillies. I'm not confident enough to pull the trigger because I do think we get runs in both games, obviously, but the D-backs game, it's more so just the uncertainty after Mantiply against a bullpen that hasn't really gotten exposed yet. That's what gives me questions about the D-backs in that game. So I still lean the Phillies there, and the Astros, I think the Rangers fucked up the second they let Jordan get hot in game 3, and now they're another game on the road here, which is kind of what they need. I don't know. This doesn't feel great for the Rangers right now.
Okay. Yep, they're on life support. Here come the Astros.
Okay. Now this is weird.
Huh.
I didn't see this earlier. Those have been easily, I would say, out of the well-known players in that series, easily the two worst hitters in those lineups.
Oh, so now you want to fade them because JJ
No,
Miles
I don't. I want to back them. That Kyle Tucker, Marcus Semien, 3.5 hit run RBI combo, when they have been on historically bad runs, That looks very suspicious. I'm not going to lie to you.
But the big names of those two guys cancel out their poor performances of late. Nobody's going into Prize Picks and taking that less than Javon, except for us.
Crabs. Think about how strange it is, because like those combo squares are not just like cherry picked. They went out and they selected Kyle Tucker and Marcus Semien and put them together, which neither of them, it seems like, have hit a baseball since 1982. Especially when you have, like, right next to it, you have Jose Altuve and Corey Seager, both guys who look like Barry Bonds right now. And then on the other side, you have Corbin Carroll, Bryce Harper, who are also, outside of maybe Ketel Marte, the two hottest hitters on either side in that series. So they went out of their way and took Kyle Tucker and Marcus Semien and put the two together and continue to put it up. And now it's at a higher number.
That's weird. I agree. But Javon, at the end of the day, who is going and taking that less than? Nobody.
Is it fair to say though that if you walk into this category, what over are you taking? If you're the public bettor, I can guarantee it's not that one.
I mean, it's probably the one on the right.
It's
probably Corbin Carroll.
It's either of the two that are at 4.
Totally. I agree. But I would literally bet my life on it that if I called up Prize Picks and asked them what the handle was on that square, they would say that there was still way more handle on the more than for Kyle Tucker and Semien. I'd literally bet my life on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's coming in to take less than in this category anyway. I'm not trying to say that it looks like maybe a free under. I'm not trying to say that, but
right.
That's a suspicious pairing to continue to be up, and now it's bumped up from 3.5 to 3, or 3 to 3.5.
Do people take less thans though, Richie? Do they?
I don't know about in the combo squares here.
Probably I don't know if they do. Would you bet another 24-hour stream? Fuck no. Fake. That's fake Goots, by the way. We got real Goots on the back end. Run a BTL. This is fake Goots in chat. If everybody bet unders, Vegas wouldn't exist. Yeah, Grins. He gets it. All right, chat. Well, Javon, I'll bet you gentlemen's bets on this square right here that Kyle Tucker and Semien go less than. They're 3.5 fixed runs RBIs.
We'll do that.
Let's keep moving and grooving. Although you don't want to take any of these other combos, do you? Or fade them?
No, I'm good.
You want to fade that Carroll and Bryce Harper square? That should be free.
No, I'm good. I'm good there.
You want to talk about Ketel Marte real quick? I feel like we should. They have 700 squares up for him, and he's been on fire. Not saying I want to fade him, but I do think we should talk about it.
Yeah, he's like the D-backs Trey Turner right now, dude. I don't want to fade him at all, just because
he's the hottest guy in the postseason right now.
He is, and it's not getting talked about as much as like the Trey Turner, Bryce Harper run, or even like the Jordan run is getting talked about when he's putting up, similarly impressive numbers. So I mean, this guy is right now the glue of that lineup, and it's not really even a conversation. So they haven't been great offensively, but when they have, he's had a hand in it. So again, I mean, they have a bunch of squares up for him, rightfully so. I don't love backing him necessarily because I don't know. It seems very trappy after the last couple of days, but I'm going nowhere near fading him out. I think he's going to continue being the backbone of this lineup.
Agreed. Do you want to take him today?
I don't want to
score
take
a run.
I don't want to take him.
Okay, just leave him alone.
Yeah.
Chat, what are you guys talking about? No, if iCarly, no. No. If somebody drops 10 subs, I'm not doing another 24-hour stream unless you're running it yourself.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get to the counter doing a 24-hour stream either.
You guys understand like how hard that is to sit in this stupid chair for 24 straight hours and stay awake and do that? I'm not saying I'm never going to do it again, but I need at least a couple weeks off, folks.
Hey,
I still feel tired.
You built that chair, Krabs. People forget.
People forget I literally built this chair on stream. That's how much fucking time we had.
Yeah, it's nuts. Okay? That's nuts.
Good gracious.
Yeah, I might put a bet up for a 12-hour stream, but I ain't doing 24, man. That's ridiculous. I don't know how you did that.
Oh, man. All right, chats. We got a couple good angles here for today. I think we should probably go through and recap what we like for today before we hop into the weekend craft sesh, Javon. It is about that time now. We got to get moving and grooving.
We do.
Okay. All right. College football. Let's pivot really quick here, folks. College football. I mean, this is the game they're giving us tonight. Honestly, suck me, college football committee. This is absurd. It's Friday night. It's week 8 of the college football season. We get one Friday night game and it's SMU and Temples? Are you kidding me? What? I don't even want to bet this game just out of spite, but I'm trying to find a way to do it because I want to bet the football game so fucking bad, Javon. Is it just the under and Temple spreads or 2 leans here and we'll figure it out down the line and see where these lines are moving and grooving?
Yeah, I mean, I need to figure out if the only reason I will ever consider actually pulling trigger and pressing the button, taking Temple in this game is if EJ Warner's playing. So,
okay,
till we get to that point,
right,
knowing what's up with him, I will not be placing anything outside of the square in this game.
Deep camp coming in hot with some analysis here. Okay.
That's what I'm doing until anything else comes out.
And that square is who? What is his name?
David Martin Robinson, Temple tight end.
David Robinson?
Yep.
The old Navy midshipman center who went to the NBA and the Hall of Fame?
Yep, Spurs Hall of Famer. Could be him. Could be him.
People forget he went to Navy.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that in chat? That David Robinson went to the Naval Academy and played basketball there? Kind of weird, honestly, but what a beast. Okay, and we'll go over these squares too. I got a 6-piece. Looking at me funny that we talked about today, Javon, but okay. Temple maybe, if their QB starting, that under, gun to your head, is probably honestly the best play that just get a hit. It's a fucking primetime standalone game between an atrocious Temple team who, if they're without their QB or even if they have their banged up starter, probably not going to be that efficient. And SMU, I mean, they're up to 23.5, Javon, but that doesn't mean they're going to be scoring a bazillion points, not against Temple. They might not need to. Okay, because I don't know if Temple's going to get double digits on the scoreboard here. So probably lean under there. Maybe Temple if their QB plays. MLB-wise, I think I lean Texas ML. Not going to be playing it, though. I am on Houston first 5, team total over 2.5. Good luck finding that. It's not on every book, but if you can, join me for a responsible unit. I think the Rangers score early and I think the Astros score early and often in this game tonight, Javon. I like that Jordan Montgomery more than 2.5 run square. This kind of correlates with that. I'm liking Houston to get the bats going. Wouldn't be surprised if Altuve gets the party started himself, even on the first pitch. You know, he likes doing that. And then I'd probably lean the over in that game overall. And then Texas ML, but that's probably my 3rd least play in that game. And then give me the D-backs, gun to my head on the ML, but I'm not going to play it. I don't want to fade Philly. If anything, I'm going to be on the under in that game. It's nasty. I'm on an island there, I know. It is what it is, but give me the under in the late game. Javon, give the people your MLB plays.
Yeah, I mean, pretty simple for me. We have a handful of the squares that we talked about, but only play that I am for sure on book-wise in either of these games as of right now is the over in Texas here, in this Houston Astros-Rangers game. That's the only one that I'm for sure sold on. I don't know what much to do with the Phillies D-backs game, to be honest with you. Again, like I've said 15,000 times, a lot of question marks with both these pitchers and then the bullpens behind them. I feel like we're kind of getting to the point where the bullpens are going to start getting exposed in the series. We haven't really seen a constant run flow to this point. So that's going to come soon. And I kind of feel like it's today, but I'm not going to go with go to the grave with that one. And yeah, it looks like we got John Cena up there streaming in the Crabs Bets chair. But yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with these couple games. I do think I'll be on Surge Stream, so we'll talk about some of these squares and see what people have to say about that. And yeah, I just saw this too. Camo end zones for the Army game for LSU. It's kind of cool.
I did see that. I fuck with that.
It's pretty.
That could be the edge Army needs though to cover that game.
Could be. Maybe Brian Kelly just pulls the dogs off in that game for respect.
Honestly, dude, I love that. To be honest with you, kind of weird that total was moving up in that game. I will say.
Yeah, I mean, Army did just lose to Boston College, which got me bricked, but holy hell, I don't know how they lost that game.
Can't be losing to BC, man. Can't. Yeah, WNZs. WLSU, love to see it. I fucking love that we get to watch these military academies play football. It sucks that the NIL is probably going to kill these teams, and they're only going to get worse from this point on, but enjoy it while they're here. It respects, Air Force's run up to this point. I know they're 6-0 and ranked, which is fucking awesome. Anytime you see one of these schools ranked, you got to tip your cap because it's not easy to get dogs to go to your school and play football when you can't pay anybody NIL. Like, do you guys realize that these kids who go to these schools, it's not like they're at college. It's like they're employees and they don't get paid shit from NIL. they're going there because they want to, serve the country and better themselves. And they're good ass kids, and you just got to respect it. And if their football teams or their sports programs are any good at all, it's surprising and it's just awesome, to be honest with you. So although I'm going to be fading the living shit out of Air Force this weekend and nuking Navy, Navy, another great school who's really fallen off recently. It's tough to be good when you don't have any NIL money coming in, man. It's tough. Got to respect it.
Yep.
Hate to see Air Force's QB go down, but in this sense this week, Javon, it could help us make some coins.
Could be.
Really
could do it.
Could be the diff. Okay. Chats, we're going to move and groove onto the weekend craft sesh. We want to have plenty of time to craft up this 5 guys prize picks entry and the Hail Mary, and then we'll go on to the squad ride and college football squad ride. Let's dive into the 5 guys entry, folks. Let's craft up. Sure. Literally in the 5 guys lap.
Literally. Love to see it.
W grins. Love the free edits. We need more of these. Okay. Javon, let's get started on prize picks. Why not us? Okay. I know we've got a couple college squares that we're eyeing. Might as well get started with those. Do we cut the shit and just start with that Aller pick? I mean, why even?
Yeah, I mean, that's. I would like to say like it's super, super crazy. I don't think it is, just because that's the whole reason of why I like Ohio State in this game. Best defense that they've faced by far. Penn State played a pretty soft schedule, and now we have Drew Aller going into the shoe. That's just not going to end very well. So, I mean, this pick has gone from a pick-em-ish at -115 both ways up to -130 to the over now. So, yes, he's throwing a pick against this Ohio State defense, and there's a reason why it's up. And they don't do charts for interception squares, but this one just happens to be accurate because he hadn't thrown one all season.
Huh.
So,
okay. Well,
in right there.
Say no more. Okay. And are we just going to let this go under the table? Are we just going to let this get swept under the rug, Javon?
Dude.
It's coming.
Dude. That can't be
And
real.
where does it end?
That can't be real.
What's next? Are we putting Skittles and maple syrup on our food like fucking Elf? Like, what's next? Where does it end? Just eat your 5 guys burger. God damn. I'm good on the PB on my burger. I'll stick with ketchup. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. God, what the hell? Javon's milk. You know he's into that shit. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know he's liking it. Yeah.
He loves
dirty. That fucking account just geeks me, man. Makes my day every time in here in chat. It's just so weird and awesome. All right. We can start out with Aller. I mean, he's a noon game. That's honestly perfect. And I would love to no stack, these slates and squares and try to, get it evened out throughout the weekend. So that's the whole point of these. What else you got in college? I obviously want to lean on you a little bit more.
Yes. I mean, my favorite couple of guys, which are both quarterbacks in the games we've discussed, kind of up to you how we split it up, because one of the two happens to also be a noon game, which is not ideal. But I mean, Dylan Gabriel, how do we not take him this weekend? Especially in a game that I think it has a larger spread at 17.5. But I mean, I think UCF covers the game. I think this has a chance to be a 1-possession game come the end of, when the clock strikes 0. But I don't think it's going to be because of the defenses. I think it's going to be because UCF and John Reese Plumlee and RJ Harvey kind of hanging this game with their offense. Dylan Gabriel and Oklahoma are going to do disgusting things to that secondary. I'm going to say it again. So, I mean, I love his fantasy score, which actually was at 28.5 right before we got on here. And now it's at 29.5. Or no, there it is. That was his rushing yards. But yeah, 28.5. I like that. But if we don't want to go to an early game, the other quarterback that I really like, which again aligns with the play, is Garrett Green for West Virginia going up against Oklahoma State.
You want to go back to Garrett Green?
I'm going back to him, but not for a pick this time. I'm going with the fantasy score for him too, because like I talked about, their offensive line is dominance, but their secondary for Oklahoma State hasn't really had a chance to get completely exposed because their D-line has gotten so much pressure on Will Howard 2 weeks ago, and then Jason Bean later in the game last week, which, I mean, Kansas still put up 32 points, so it's not like they shut them down offensively, but Garrett Green is going to have all day to operate, and there's a massive fantasy score upside here with his rushing too, which he's had a handful of rushing TDs in the past couple of weeks here, and you see the line for his rush yards. I don't think he's going to be losing points for sacks there. more than a time or two. So I love him to have a massive game.
I could be in on that. Definitely not opposed. And also the way chat's reacting, it sounds like they've all had and enjoyed peanut butter on their burgers more often than not.
I hope not. I'm
shocked.
Not, man.
I'm shocked.
No.
And Isaac, bro, don't be eating that shit from like McDonald's, that like new sauce they have and all the commercials. Go get some actual mumbo sauce in DC. It's like spicy barbecue sauce. It's fucking gas, dude. Do not be hating on mumbo sauce in this chat. That's where I draw the line.
So wait, is the peanut butter burger like a thing from like somewhere specific, or is it just like
people are saying it was a thing, I guess, for Purdue around that campus. I guess they do that around there, and I guess it's more common than we expected. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be too bad. I don't know, man. I feel like it would make my mouth like dryish. I don't know. I'm not gonna hate it. I haven't tried. Okay, I'll trust the chat. You know they're sharp. Okay.
It's like a PB sauce.
Now a thing.
I mean, if it's a sauce and it's not like just a straight
scoop of peanut butter,
yeah, that's kind of what I envisioned it as. If it's a sauce, then okay.
Okay. We got Back to Malik coming in hot, giving out subbies left and right. B Nasty gets a sub from Back to Malik. A Board gets a sub bang from Back to Malik. Isaac P getting a sub bang from Back to Malik. W's Back to Malik. I guess you didn't have the Saints last night on the ML. If you're giving out subbies left and right, love to see it. I prefer just a simple old Krabby Patty with jellyfish jelly. Just keep it simple.
You said it is just straight up peanut butter, and it just melts on.
All right, it just melts on there, and you eat it. Okay, well, I'll let you guys have that one, and I'll trust you. I will trust you. Okay. Gosh, I don't know which square that I'd rather take.
We could, sir. I don't really have too much else in college, so we could possibly go to the NFL and circle around and see how we want to divvy it up. Come back.
Yeah, but we need at least 2 college squares, brother.
Well, I know, but we already have. I assume that we were in on the pick, so then we go to NFL.
100%.
And then we can circle back to if we want Gabriel, Green, or both.
Okay.
Depending on what we have for the NFL. Sure.
Okay. Let's go to NFL. Let's look at some of these squares for this weekend. And I know we've talked about some of these already. Is Jared Goff throwing a pick?
That square is so weird, dude. I don't know if I can get myself to do it.
You'd rather take Desmond Ridder than not throw a pick, right?
Yeah.
God damn it, dude.
Yeah, throwing one.
Guy had 3 last week against the Manders, man.
Yeah. Now he's going on the road, and they put this square up.
You're going to that game, aren't you?
I'm going to that game, and I am going to have coin on the under. I'm going to have coin on Desmond Ridder not throw a pick, and if I wasn't already invested in no fun, I would probably have coin on the Falcons. But yeah, if he throws one to Jamel Dean, I'll tip my cap gladly. I'll exchange one coin for another, but I just can't see it happening this week. I can't.
Isaac, bro, where did you get your mumbo sauce from? Are you from the DMV? I'm not letting this go. You need to try somewhere else. And if you're not in the DC area, you probably shouldn't be getting mumbo sauce anyways. Okay. You got to come up here. I'll take you out. We'll go hit a spot. Yeah, McDonald's. See, you're eating the McDonald's commercial mumbo sauce. Like, come on, guys. It's not the mumbo from the heart and soul of DC.
Wow.
You go to a Nats game, they got some cool stands and stuff with mumbo sauce. Honestly, all the local teams.
Crazy.
Gosh.
And yes, Alec, boots on ground at Ridge this week.
W's.
We'll be
Love
there.
to see it. Chats, we've got people going everywhere. We got Shelly and Mikey, I believe, on the way right now to Ohio State and Penn State. So make sure you guys stay tapped in. Make sure you guys follow along their content. I'm sure that's going to be hilarious and electric for tomorrow's game, noon. Big kickoff. Love it. Get the boys out there early. Get them playing. And then Javon and Lauren going to the Bucks and Falcons game on Sunday, correct?
Correct.
W's. Love to see it. Awesome. Chad, make sure you guys are tapped in this weekend. All right. We also have a pod that dropped yesterday. We'll be seeing pod. Make sure you guys check that out as well. Goots, if you can throw the link to that in the chat, that would be dope. Thank you. Desmond Ridder, less than a pick, I guess.
We can talk through these games. I think we have a couple of angles in each game, which are, you know what I'm really mad is not up anymore?
Hurts.
Not even that. because I have a feeling that'll come back up pretty soon. But Saquon touchdown, I really wanted to square up and put in the entry. And it's gone.
Thank God.
What do you mean, thank God?
What do you mean? What do you mean? You want to take Saquon and square up and take him? You think that's going to make me happy and do a backflip?
You're on the G-Man.
I know I'm on the G-Man, but I don't want to take Saquon's.
You even
Cork
agreed.
Square.
We even agreed. We talked about this yesterday. I was like, you know what? I have angles, which the other angle hit. I said it was Michael Thomas to get in the end zone and Saquon. I want to take Saquon so bad. I would have put meat on table for that and used my overwrite card if that was still on there.
We'd be putting it in. No questions asked, but he's not up there. Thank God.
I know.
I'll make sure he doesn't get put back up. Yep. I'll do it.
What games do we want to target here? Because I have a couple angles for squares.
Well, I definitely have some for the Sunday night football game too. But let me pull up what we crafted up yesterday for the NFL craft sesh. Looks like our favorite squares. I mean, you had Jordan Love more than pass yards. You had Desmond Ridder less than half a pick. I had Jalen Hurts more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. And I had a square that is not even up anymore. And it's probably a good thing because it was disgusting, that Mac Jones interception square, which is now gone.
I still love, no pun intended, the Jordan Love square, which is also, it's gotten like a 5-6 yard bump already, which I don't really care. I think he's going to sniff 300, but
that could be our little 425 spot here.
Could be the 425. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. And then if we take a peep at Sunday Night Football, I mean, I'm all ears. I think I had a couple angles I liked. I wish they had the Hurts interception up, but maybe it's a good thing and it'll make our decision a little easier here, Javon, because I got some squares I like in this late night Sunday night game. I like that Jalen Hurts more than 1.5 passing touchdowns square. I'm not, going to say we should fade that rushing touchdown square, but I will say that shit ain't hitting. And then if we go take a look at the Dolphins squares, I remember there was one that was looking at me funny. I think it might have just been the Tua pick. Oh, no, it was that Tyreek Hill touchdown square, but you're not going to let me take that.
Yeah, we're banned. You're banned from that one.
Okay. Well, if I didn't go 0 for 3, I can already get my 3 strikes on that square earlier this season. I'd probably bitch a little bit more, but I'll let you have it.
Yeah.
It's probably that Hurts passing touchdown square for me. I think Hurts throws 2 in the air against the Dolphins.
Question, though. I mean, it's a high total. We are on that under. I know you are, and I'm going to join you there.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking back and forth between taking this square and taking it to Monday with Brock Purdy for the same square.
Is that allowed?
I don't know if that's allowed, but it's just putting options out there.
I'll allow it.
I don't know if that's allowed.
Is it allowed?
I think it might be allowed.
What, his passing touchdown square?
Yeah.
I do like it. I just don't know if that's allowed. I might have to check the rule books here, folks. Are we allowed to put in a square if we like it for Monday Night Football and roll the 5 guys entry into next week? We want a winner, not something forced. If it's a winner, it's allowed. Okay, that's probably the right answer. Okay. Board said no. All right.
A board said no.
Crabs, we simply need winners. All right. Ron said yes. If Ron says yes, then we're allowed to do it. Whatever Ron says goes, folks.
Unreal.
Dude, but I like that square a lot.
I mean, we have.
He's been so bad at passing.
I know, and we have plenty of squares up. So like this week, I think we have not. I mean, we have 20 minutes, but not all the time in the world. But we have a lot of angles that we can talk through here. And Monday is a holiday, right? So it does count.
What holiday?
Right? Is it not? Oh, I guess not. GG's.
What holiday is it, Jock? What are you talking about? Yeah, I don't think it is. Okay. I mean, I'm scrolling through. I'm not seeing anything that's sticking out to me more than Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy, maybe some pick squares. We already have a couple of those, though, so probably not. I mean, what other squares did you want to talk through? I'm not really seeing any other ones that are catching my eye too much.
I was saying we could go
Maybe
across.
fading Josh Allen.
I figured. I thought you were going to come up with something Patriots related.
Yeah, well, it was initially that Mac Jones pick, but I had to pivot, Javon. And now it's probably that Josh Allen last 1.5 past the Teddy Square.
That's fair.
It's so bad, too.
Yeah, man. To be honest with you, I was trying to look through some of these Cardinal squares. Because I was talking about them. I think they have a good shot to win this game. And I've been looking through and trying to find a way to back them. What are you pulling up?
Can you see that?
Dude. I feel like you're very close to Tyreek Hill levels with that square too.
Yeah, I know. I agree. But what the fuck is that doing up? What is that doing up? What is that doing up?
Dude.
What is it doing up? Why is it there? Why is it there? This guy's been a fucking touchdown machine. He's got a 6-piece in his last 4 games. And he's going to play Arizona, a team that they should be winning, destroying. I mean, mopping the floor with them, up 14 points probably at a point. You know, running the ball, running the clock out, tick, tick, tick. Why is that square up? Chat, tell me. Why?
Such a valid point, too.
Why? Why is he up? And Javon, we got to pick up the tempo and pace, or we're not going to finish all this stuff.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, Chad doesn't even like it, man. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? I do hate that Charbonnet is not playing too. That hurts.
Yeah, it cannot make less sense.
Fuck, man.
I think we go.
What are we full outline? We're fully decided on right now.
I think we go Aller. I think we have that Ritter square, and I think we have that Jordan Love square in there locked in a Honda pick.
Okay.
I mean, if you really like that Brock Purdy square, I mean, I do. I think he's about to go off as well. I wouldn't be opposed to putting that in there.
I'll leave it up to you because I think we put one of those in there, and I know you like Hurts more, so you make the call between Hurts and Purdy. Assume it's going to be Hurts.
Yeah, it's going to be Hurts.
Okay. Fair. I'm in for that.
Are we putting in another college square? Do you want to put in Brock Purdy and just make it a one college geyser and draw it out and just put our favorite squares we like in there and not force another college one and put in a Monday night square to bring us to the next game, next day?
I mean, to be honest, I like the college squares. Both those quarterbacks a lot.
Okay.
So I would not.
All right, so let's talk through those two real quick again. Give me your little pitches for those 2 QB props you like.
So, I mean, Dylan Gabriel kind of speaks for itself. The UCF defense has given up a ridiculous amount of explosive plays. I think they'll go blow for blow for them for a majority of the game, too. Like, I think they cover. So, like, usually I would be very scared of the blowout taking Gabriel out of the game, but I don't think it will. So, like, I also have the over, so I'm hoping for 70-plus points. I get that. I think we get 49-50 from Oklahoma. There's also that 2.5. Coots, I don't know if you can click on that, but it's passing touchdown square. Which I was between that and the fantasy score, and I like the fantasy score because I want to include his legs. But even in like the game against Texas, he wasn't throwing for that 2.5 square, which was it's interesting that that's up, and also minus 135 to the over, even in a total like this. So I just think he snaps. It's against UCF, not great blood there, and it's going to be a shootout.
What was the other square?
Well, I was just talking about his look, the one that's on the board is the passing touchdown. We also have the fantasy square. Oh, the other guy, Garrett Green, West Virginia. And
Let's go, Gabriel.
Up for this too. This is exactly everything that I saw with Kansas State last week when they snapped offensively, even with no obviously like the receiving touchdowns they had up didn't hit because he had Will Howard instead of whatever the other quarterback's name is, but they had multiple guys up for receiving touchdowns, which I thought was very odd at the time, and they still scored a lot of points, not really needing it. Now they have, with their number 1 receiver out for likely the season, the number 2 and number 3 guys both up for receiving touchdowns.
Okay. And I just accidentally placed an entry. I wasn't looking when I touched my iPad. I just locked in an accidental 4-piece with Aller, Ritter, Love, and Hurts. Okay. Well, what am I doing? All right, we're going to go Aller to get it started off at noon. All right, we're going to go him to throw a pick. We're going to go Gabe. Let's start calling him Gabe. I'm going to go Gabe, fantasy score. You want to go fantasy over that nasty 2.5 passing touchdowns?
That can be your call. I think they both hit for the same reason.
We'll go fantasy. Trust your gut.
Amen.
And then NFL, we will go.
We do have, this is all quarterbacks.
Well, it is what it is. We don't have time to change it. Let's
Yeah.
go with Ritter, Love, and Hurts. It is all QBs. What the? Well, hey, it is what it is. We didn't do it on purpose, Jack.
Master classes for the
We
boys.
did not do it on purpose. We'll go Ritter, Love, and Hurts. Sure. Chat, 5 guys. Burgers and fries for the weekend.
The QB 5 guys.
That is a QB 5 guys. And just like 5 guys after you eat it, we're going to close out with Jalen Hurts. That one might hurt. Straight up.
That's nuts. Nuts.
Got 5 guys, burgers and fries, all QB entry, rare. Okay. Drew Aller, more than a half a pick. We got Dylan Gabriel, more than 28.5 fantasy score. We got Desmond Ritter, more than half a pick. Sorry, less than half a pick. Less than half a pick. We've got Jordan Love, more than pass yards, and Jalen Hurts, more than passing tutties.
I like that.
5 guys hold the fries. Okay.
Love that.
QB's got to show up, or the ones are fading. They got to disappear. Okay. Javon, we got to craft up a Hail Mary lay here. We're running out of time.
We do, yeah.
We got to craft up a little
cooking.
Hail Mary geyser. What are we thinking here? We want to get started with some college?
Yeah, I mean, start me off for a ML piece, I guess we could do, depending on the odds. West Virginia.
WML.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you'll need the ML instead of the points, but if we're doing a lay, might as well do that unless we really need the odds boost there.
What time do they play?
I think they're afternoon.
3:30s.
Yeah.
I'd be down for WML. Do we want to take Navy?
I could be down to take Navy. It's your meat on tape play. I'm with you.
It's my favorite play is Saturday.
I'm with it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Start
and I
it
think
off
that's
early.
A noon piece. Yeah.
It is. That would be the first leg to kick off.
Chat, remember, we tell you this every week, but especially in this case with this Navy line, it's already down to 10, guys. Get this in now. Get this in now. You're going to have to. Navy plus 10.
Yep.
Fuck, dude. It was a 10.5 an hour ago. Okay. Any other college plays you absolutely love? UConn?
Dude, I do like
UConn a
UConn.
lot.
I like UConn a good bit, man.
Same. I think we go UConn. We go UConn ML.
Sure.
And we can always go back and take one of these out if we love 3 NFLs or some shit. But I think
I
we'll
don't
roll
love
with
the
those.
NFL board anyway, so.
I kind of agree with you today. I think this weekend the college board's looking better to me
Yeah.
than the
100%.
NFL. But there's still winners to be found. There are.
There is.
Yeah. We got to take the Ravens, I feel like.
Yeah, we probably do.
Do you want to take ML or -3?
You can take ML.
Baltimore ML, sure. And then we need one more geyser, chat.
How about one of the
Packers?
totals? I was going to say either the – oh, GG's.
There we go. See ya.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Well, before I change this, I was thinking one of the 2 totals between the Packers over, which I really like, or we take it to Sunday night and go Dolphins Eagles under.
Ooh.
I'm
down for that Dolphins Eagles under. I'm in.
Go ahead.
That shit's smacking.
It is.
All right, chat. We've got 5 plays for the Hail Mary. Listen up. Navy plus 10. We got UConn ML, West Virginia ML. We got the Ravens on the ML. I know Goots has bricked about that one. He's hype. And we got the under in Miami and Philly. Sure. Love it. Chat 5-piece. Hail Mary parlay. How about it? And we got the 5 guys entry as well. Make sure you guys check us out on Book It BTL on Twitter. Okay? Go check us out on there. We're going to post these entries later today. All right? Dubs, let's get this squad ride moving and grooving. We're running out of time here, folks. Let's go ahead and get this voting started while Javon loads back up. We'll get it kicked off here. Not that many options for today's squad rides, but that's okay. W's, Javon.
Yeah, we're a little out of focus, but we gotta make
You're
it happen.
good, dude. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
you like that 5-piece?
I like that 5-piece. Like,
okay, good. And then we're gonna do the BTL squad ride right now, Javon. I mean, I think we go. Yeah, get a close up of that beard.
This is crazy. Crazy.
This is a crazy move right
crazy
here.
Angle. Hold on, let me fake that.
What the fuck was that? Javon's got some pearly whites, bro. Sure.
Bugging.
Back.
Bugging.
Back.
Bugging.
That was
so
like
good.
a 4K zoom in of just like your mouth.
I know. I don't know.
Nobody's ever filmed that ever for anybody in the history of Earth. Okay.
Crazy.
That was crazy.
Okay.
All right, chat.
Well, let's get it.
Let's craft up for the squad rides. What do we want to take for the baseball games today, Javon? I know we're kind of divided on both days. And chat, we have some best bets below that we like. But what are we taking? What do we like? I guess we can go Texas-Houston over.
Yeah, Texas-Houston over. The one that we didn't talk about that real quickly I want to talk about, I'm taking the Devils on the ice against the Islanders. Coming off of the Devils have been moosh at the start of the season. And hopefully we get no random DMs and comments too upset about that. But Devils have been terrible to begin the season. Now they're going on the road, which really isn't the crazy road environment, going into the Corp Islanders arena. But coming off a Sorokin shutout against the Yotes, I think he bounces back in a bad way, and the Devils start to rip shots on this defense. And I honestly think we see goals against the Islanders, really for one of the first times all season. And I think it's an all-out attack from the Devils, ripping puck, which has been tough to do and usually is against the Islanders. So minus 120 for the Devs ML.
Oh, I'm in. Although I am seeing the line pull back a little bit. Are you scared? You wavering?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's really about fading Sorokin off of a shutout and the start to the season that the Devils have had. It's been pretty underwhelming. I think it flips now on the road.
All right. I'm in. We'll put that in there. We'll put Texas-Houston over 9 in there. We could put in the Yurfie. We could put in the Houston first 5 team total, but I don't think people can get that. Maybe we just stick with these 2 plays and do the smallest squad ride vote of all time.
I mean, we might have to. There's not much else going on today.
Like, I don't want to stick stuff in here that I'm not going to be betting myself.
Yeah, I mean, those are the only 2 plays that I'm for sure locking in today. So I don't know.
What about the Yurfie?
I mean, that's up to you. It's up to you. I'm not taking the Yurfie, but I don't think it's a terrible play either.
Chat, why don't we go ahead and take Jordan Montgomery more than 2.5 earned runs as a third leg?
We can do that. I'm in.
Okay. J Mont's more than 2.5 earned runs. All right. Chat, 3 plays, 3 winners. That cam is so gassed. It is on its last legs. There we go.
All right. Well, I'm just going to have to stay in here now, man. I'm just going to have to stay in here.
Just chill, bro.
Just got to chill.
Chat, get those votes in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Get those votes in. Hurry up. Javon, you can't hear him, but he's here. Don't be scared if you hear his voice. He is on the screen.
Yep, okay? I'm here. I'm here and I'm ready.
He's up there. Do not be fooled. Okay, he is there. His camera is gassed.
Cam
Shout out explicit content for a subby.
24-hour stream.
Yeah, sure. Chat, go, 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 go. Hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And we got to get this college football. Got to get this college football squad ride done too, Javon. Yep. I mean, we could stick with a lot of the plays we kind of just went over for the Hail Mary, I'm assuming, right? We could go Navy, we could go UConn, we could go W spreads.
Yep. So
right?
Three that I think surely should be in there.
Yeah. You want WVU spread for this, though?
Yes.
Any other college plays we're loving? Chat, drop your favorite college football play of the weekend right now. Hurry up, go, go, go. And also simultaneously get your votes in on the BTL Squad Ride poll on the Twitch chat at the same exact time. Hurry up, go. Get
I
it.
think we put Kansas State in there too, to be honest with you. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have a unit on it.
Okay, Kansas State minus 6.5.
Yeah.
I'm in. What about the UCF and Oklahoma over?
Yeah, down for that.
Cool. UCF OU over 67.5. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, you can still get – it's really 66.5 most places I'm seeing, but 67.5 is the highest line I see. So that's what's up there. But, yeah, I can go ahead. I'm giving mine.
Jack, get your votes in. Hurry up. There's no time. Go, go, go. Get them in, get them in, get them in. And it's going to be the Houston, Texas over. All right, chat.
Ooh.
I don't hate it. Javon's pissed, but I don't hate it. All right, chat. BTL College Football Squad Ride. Got to do this vote for tomorrow. It's got to be a 1-minute poll, so I need you guys absolutely dialed in right now. Listen up. Get ready. 5 plays, 5 winners. Goots is working overtime, absolutely drenched in sweat on his keyboard right now, getting these plays in, but he's killing it. We got Navy plus 10, UConn ML. We got West Virginia minus 3.5. We got K-State spread minus 6.5. And we got UCF and Oklahoma over 67. 1-minute poll. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Get in there. Get in there. Go. Get those votes in chat. Hurry up. Go, go, go. All right. We got over 600 people in here. No excuses why we can't see a bazillion votes zing across the screen right now, even with the 1-minute poll. Show some hearts. Get those votes in. Come on. Go, go, go. Got to get the college football squad ride right for the weekend.
Country roads. Take me the fuck home, man.
It's kind of funny hearing you talk and you're just not up there on the screen.
I know.
Chad, hurry up. Get your votes in. You have
too.
10 seconds. They got 10 seconds, Javon. Are they going to get it in? I don't know.
Dude.
Are they going to get it in? I don't know. Get those votes in.
Dude.
Hurry up. Go, go, go. Get them in. 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 Get them in.
No shot that's going to win.
Get them in. 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 Go. Hurry up. Hurry up. And it's going to be our least favorite play we put in there. Kansas State minus 6.5. Sure. Sure. All right, Javon. W's. He can't even express his concerns because you can't see him. But you don't need to. You heard the sigh. Chat, we still trust you. And this play's still going to smack. No stress. Okay, we got a squad ride tonight. Texas, Houston over 9. And college football Saturday squad ride. Kansas State against Javon's Horned Frogs minus 6.5. That sounded like a spike vote from chat to me. It did. Javon, you still there?
I'm still there. I'm still there.
He's here. He's in piss. He's got to fade his own skull. Okay.
Good dude anyway. I just
WBTL.
didn't think I was going to win the squad ride, man.
It is what it is, my man. Chats, WBTL today. Stick around for the surge stream. All right, we got to cut this now. We're already late, and we'll catch you guys next week. Same time, same place. We'll be seeing folks.